Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Sense for Thoughts. I'm Mo, and today we have a maceration results video for you guys. If you're not aware, 3 or now 4 months ago almost, I set out on a goal to do a double-blind experiment to find out whether what Fractom calls maceration is true or if it's just a total bro science. For this experiment, we chose 4 different twin bottles of fragrance at 4 different price points, starting from the very expensive luxury niche of Amouage, Epic Man. We did that in episode 1. Nothing happened, by the way. There's a video if you want to watch it. Part 2, which is today, we're going for cheap designer, which is Lalique Encre Noire. Part 3 and Part 4 will include an expensive designer, Dior Fahrenheit, and a Middle Eastern cheapie/clone, Afnan Tarathi Blue. So if you're not aware, I did a 500 subscriber giveaway where I've given away one of these 2 bottles of Lalique Encre Noire, and that's why we're pushing ahead with this one first so that I can get the bottle out tomorrow to the winner. We'll be doing some more giveaways, especially at 1K, it'll be even better, so you should definitely subscribe. So how this experiment works is that 3 months ago, I got 2 twin bottles of these 4 different fragrances. As you can see, they have the same batch code, which means that they were basically the identical juice in each bowl. They were both filled from the big vat, and they have the exact same juice. Okay. The reason we did that is to, not have any issues with batch variation and things of that nature. I kept one sealed for the past 3 to 4 months, and one I unboxed and I got some juice out of it, as you can see, to allow it to macerate. I've not smelled them since. And then this past month, I've been testing all of them out extensively, collecting as much data as possible, getting as many noses as possible on them to try and see if they macerated or not. The reason I'm kind of taking the piss with the whole maceration thing is because obviously maceration does not exist outside of the factory. What everyone calls maceration is indeed maturation. So for the remainder of this video, I will be calling it maturation, which is what it is, and not maceration, which is the total bro science term that's used in Fracom. So, episode 1, Epic Man, nothing happened. And to be honest with you, I was hoping that something would happen, but deep down I knew the chances were very slim. I knew that our only hope would be in the Middle Eastern cheapie kind of category, but I was suspicious about Encre Noire because Encre Noire, all Laliques and all Lalique made perfumes, includes Bentley as well, because Lalique makes Bentleys, not the car, the perfume, of course. Fragrantica says you need to let them macerate for a few months and they come alive and become stronger. So I had a little inclination that maybe we would have something. And I'm here to tell you that something did indeed happen. And I'm here to tell you the details of that. So these were sprayed blindly on paper to begin with and on skin. And I had no idea which is which. This was a few days ago now. And I did that as a preliminary test to see if anything has changed, because if nothing has changed, I don't need to extensively test them that much. You see what I mean? So I did that, and off the bat, I thought, oh, okay, they smell kind of the same. And then after a couple of minutes, things started to change. Lalique Encre Noire à l'extrême is quite a, I would say, linear scent. It doesn't really transition or change much. It's kind of designed to be, here's the notes, take them from start to end. It's just the same smell, pretty much, okay? But what I did notice on paper is, to begin with, they were kind of the same. And after a few minutes, one was considerably deeper and stronger smelling. And I thought, hello, okay, I'm going to have to test this out extensively now. That's exactly what I've done. So throughout this experiment, what I did was make sure that I was completely, totally blinded to every single one. I also sprayed them on as many test strips as possible. So I had 3 test strips of one bottle sprayed for me and 3 of the other bottle. And obviously, if the 3 were considerably different to the other 3, then we know we're on to a winner. But if I thought 4 were the same and 2 weren't, then we know that that's down to error of my mind and my nose. I also got many other people to smell them, and we had the unanimous call that one was indeed stronger than the other, and that one was indeed the macerated one. which really caught me by surprise. So let me talk you through the differences between the macerated one after 3 to 4 months and the non-macerated one. So they smell the same. Okay, the scent profile is pretty much the same. And in the first few minutes of the opening, they are totally identical. This is both on skin and on paper. And then there's two different things, two different categories of change, I'd like to say. So category number one is in strength and longevity. So for that, I've got these two pieces of paper. These I've had Lalique Encre Noire, both of them sprayed on 48 hours ago. Wrong side. One is considerably stronger after 48 hours than the other one. This one feels like it's wearing off, it's kind of worn off. It's like Lalique Encre Noire Extreme was here. This one is very much more present. And that change was kind of replicated on skin, but not to this extreme. I'd say on fabric and on paper, the longevity was really exaggerated. On skin, because obviously as your body warms up, they kind of both disappear. But for those hours, one is considerably stronger. I use the method of that I described to you guys in the very first video about this maceration experiment, where I would spray one spray here at the elbow, one spray in the forearm 10 minutes later, and one spray at the wrist 10 minutes later. And it's a technique called progressive smelling. It's quite useful to try and detect when a fragrance transitions from the opening, mid, to the dry down. Now the issue is that this fragrance is extremely linear, so there was really no difference in transition because there is no transition. This technique is more useful for more complex scents where you're tracking that distinctive opening. It would have been great for the amouage if it did macerate, or rather mature, which obviously it didn't, unfortunately. I did that. I did tests on paper, fabric, and skin. When spraying, I made sure to measure the amount with a ruler in centimeters that it was sprayed from to make sure that everything was as accurate and reliable as possible for you guys. So that's the change in strength, I would say. And the change in strength is very much linked to the change in scent profile. Listen, they're both exactly the same scent profile. This is still Lalique Encre Noire Extreme, but one just felt fuller, deeper, and darker. And I feel like this is kind of like, even though I did one spray of each every time I sampled this, the macerated one, or rather matured one, smelled like I had done like 4 sprays. So it's the same scent profile, it smells the same, but it's just more dense, heavy, and more present. And I felt that throughout the whole experiment. One was just denser, heavier, more vetiver heavy, more thick, more rounded, and it was just more present. The non-macerated one felt like I was smelling it from afar, and it was like, oh, someone was wearing Encre Noire Extreme, and they've kind of moved away, and I've just got like the end of it. Whilst the macerated one, or rather matured one, I could smell like it was just sprayed for a lot longer. And on skin, as time progressed, the macerated one, I mean, I've got them here. Now I've had this on all day, 3 sprays, 10 minutes apart, as I did, progressive smelling. And I have to say that the non-macerated one basically gave a good 3 hours before it was really faint, whilst the other one gave a good, dramatically different 7 hours, almost double, guys. Okay, at around the 8-hour mark, they were both kind of dying off and becoming very faint. But the non-matured one, the brand new unsprayed one, was kind of just weak throughout. It was like, when you wear a perfume and then you wash your hands, let's say you've got it on your hand here, and you just lightly wash your hand, you don't really scrub that much because you're not trying to remove the perfume, you're just washing your hands, and you tend to focus on the palm, right? Not like you're not really scrubbing this bit that hard. So it kind of becomes very faint, like washed off. The non-macerated one or non-matured one smelled like I had washed it off. Like it was like a shadow that was there. And trust me, I did not wash it off. Okay, throughout the whole experiment. So that's what it felt like. Even just smelling the tip, this is so much stronger. Like literally so much stronger than this one. This I can barely smell it. This one, the matured one, is just open. It's opened up. It's like the bottle is open and I can smell the inside. That's how much stronger it is. It's really staggering. These were the two changes with Lalique Encre Noire Extreme. Am I surprised? Slightly, but not really. They are cheap perfumes. They are a designer, but they are very, very cheap. I mean, it doesn't get cheaper than Lalique, to be honest, guys. And the Fragrantica reviews did kind of say to expect some changes. So what does this mean for maceration so far after we've done half of the experiment, the Epic Man and the Encre Noire? I would say the more expensive your perfume, the less likely for any changes to happen, really, because those maceration and maturation have been done for you in the factory. Whilst the cheaper you go, it seems so far that you can expect more dramatic changes. Perhaps with these cheapies, I had another Lalique made one, which was Bentley Absolute, which is like a Gucci Porum 1 clone, if you like, and I bought that for like £19. Lalique make that for Bentley hire Lalique to do it, and I smelt it and it was gone within 30 seconds. Literally, it was just gone. Okay, 30 seconds is a bit of an exaggeration, but I would say it was a skin scent within the first few minutes and then literally gone off my skin within 30 minutes. And now in hindsight, I probably should have kept that for a few months, has got some more air in the bottle, and tested it out to see if it had kind of become more present and long lasting. So that's the take home message from this part of the experiment. Stay tuned for more. We're going to have the Dior Fahrenheit coming very soon, and obviously the Afnan Turati Blue, which is the Bulgari Tiger clone, that's also been macerating. So do stay tuned. Now I'll be shipping one of these off to our giveaway winner. Congratulations to them. We're going to be close to 1K very soon, guys, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for another giveaway at 1K and maybe a special video for you as well. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.